Chapter 6. The Unfinished Ritual. With Nathaniel Blackwood's spirit bound to the malevolent presence that haunted Blackwood Manor, Eleanor and Eliza had succeeded in weakening the entity's grip on the mansion. The shadows seemed less menacing, and the whispers in the corridors grew fainter. Yet, the battle against the malevolent force was far from over, and the mysteries of the mansion still ran deep. Eleanor had become even more determined to uncover the truth about Isabella's tragic love story and the events that had led to the curse upon the manor. Her research led her to a series of letters hidden away in Isabella's chamber, a series of correspondences between Isabella and a mysterious figure identified only as the Oracle. These letters hinted at a secret ritual that Isabella had been desperate to complete, a ritual that she believed would free her from the malevolent presence. The Oracle had promised Isabella a way to sever the entity's connection to the mansion and to release the tormented souls trapped within its walls. Eleanor realized that the key to defeating the malevolent force might lie in completing the unfinished ritual. With the guidance of Eliza and the cryptic instructions from the letters, Eleanor began to piece together the elements needed to perform the ritual. The first requirement was a set of ancient silver chalices hidden within the mansion. Eleanor, accompanied by Eliza, embarked on a search that led them deep into the mansion's hidden passages. Each chalice was imbued with a different element: earth, air, fire, and water. They had to be retrieved with care, for the malevolent presence seemed to resist their efforts at every turn. The second requirement was a collection of rare and exotic herbs, each with its own mystical properties. Eleanor sought out the village herbalist, an old woman with a reputation for her knowledge of the occult. With her guidance, Eleanor collected the herbs and prepared them for use in the ritual. The third requirement was the most challenging: a moonstone amulet said to have the power to amplify the energies of the ritual. This amulet had been lost for generations, and its whereabouts remained a mystery. Eleanor knew that she had to find it if the ritual was to have any chance of success. One evening, while researching in the underground library, Eleanor discovered a hidden compartment in one of the books. Inside, she found a tattered map that hinted at the location of the Moonstone Amulet, an abandoned crypt deep within the mansion's extensive catacombs. Determined and armed with a lantern, Eleanor and Eliza ventured into the catacombs, where the air was thick with the scent of decay, and the darkness seemed to press in on them from all sides. They followed the map's cryptic directions, navigating a labyrinth of tunnels until they reached a chamber filled with ancient, forgotten tombs. In the dim light of the lantern, they discovered the amulet, an exquisite moonstone pendant radiating an otherworldly glow. It had been carefully hidden away, perhaps by Isabella herself, as part of the unfinished ritual. With all the required elements in hand, Eleanor returned to the drawing room where the séance had taken place. The time had come to complete the ritual, sever the malevolent presence's connection to the mansion, and free Isabella from her torment. As the ritual began, the drawing room seemed to come alive with energy. Candles flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The chalices were filled with the mystical herbs, and the moonstone amulet hung at the center of the room. Eleanor and Eliza chanted the incantations, their voices blending with the echoes of the past. The air grew charged with an otherworldly power, and the malevolent presence itself seemed to manifest, its form writhing and contorting in the flickering candlelight. As the ritual reached its climax, The room was bathed in a blinding, ethereal light. The very foundations of Blackwood Manor trembled, and a chorus of otherworldly voices filled the air. Eleanor could feel the malevolent force resisting, but she held fast to the belief that the ritual would succeed. In that moment, it seemed as if time itself stood still, and Eleanor's determination and the power of the ritual clashed with the malevolent presence in a battle of wills. The outcome remained uncertain, and the fate of Blackwood Manor hung in the balance. Eleanor knew that the true test of their resolve was yet to come, as the malevolent presence fought to maintain its hold on the mansion and the souls it had ensnared. Chapter 7. The Confrontation. The room where Eleanor and Eliza conducted the ritual was engulfed in a blinding, ethereal light. As the incantations reached their climax, the malevolent presence within Blackwood Manor resisted with all its might. The very foundations of the mansion trembled, and the air crackled with otherworldly energy. Eleanor could feel the entity's malevolence clawing at the edges of the ritual, desperate to maintain its grip on the mansion and the tormented souls it had ensnared. In the midst of the supernatural struggle, Eleanor's determination remained unshaken. She clung to the belief that the ritual, fueled by the Moonstone Amulet and the elements of earth, air, fire, and water, would succeed in severing the entity's connection to the mansion. Eliza's spectral form flickered beside her, her presence a source of strength and guidance. Together, they chanted the incantations with unwavering resolve, their voices echoing in harmony with the spirits that seemed to hover in the room. The malevolent presence, however, fought back with a vengeance. It manifested in a swirling vortex of darkness, a shadowy figure writhing and contorting in the flickering candlelight. Its malevolent aura threatened to consume everything in its path. Eleanor's vision blurred as she struggled to maintain her focus. The room itself seemed to distort, as if reality itself were unraveling. The temperature dropped, and the very walls of Blackwood Manor seemed to groan under the supernatural strain. As the ritual and the malevolent presence clashed in a battle of wills, Eleanor felt a sudden surge of doubt. What if they had underestimated the entity's power? What if their efforts were in vain? The malevolent force pressed closer, and Eleanor could feel its darkness encroaching upon her. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, Eliza's spectral form glowed brightly, emitting a radiant, ethereal light. She whispered words of encouragement to Eleanor, urging her to stand strong. It was a reminder of the tormented spirits trapped within the mansion, the souls who had suffered for far too long. With newfound determination, Eleanor chanted the incantations with renewed vigor, channeling the energy of the ritual through the Moonstone Amulet. The room trembled, and the malevolent presence let out a blood-curdling scream, its form contorting and shrinking. In a blinding flash of light, the malevolent entity was banished. The room returned to a state of eerie calm, and the oppressive atmosphere that had plagued Blackwood Manor for centuries lifted. Eleanor could feel the weight of the curse dissipating, and she knew that the ritual had succeeded in severing the entity's connection to the mansion. Eliza's spectral presence, once flickering with uncertainty, now radiated a sense of peace and relief. The tormented spirits that had been trapped within Blackwood Manor for generations were finally free to move on. Eleanor knew that the battle against the malevolent presence had been won, but the true test of their victory remained. The mansion had to be cleansed of the residual darkness that still lingered. The scars of the haunting ran deep, and there were still secrets to uncover. As the room returned to normal, Eleanor and Eliza shared a moment of silent gratitude. The confrontation with the malevolent force had been harrowing, but they had emerged victorious, and Blackwood Manor was no longer a place of darkness and despair. Their journey to uncover the truth and bring closure to Isabella's tragic love story had led them to this moment, and Eleanor felt a sense of fulfillment and purpose. There were still unanswered questions and lingering mysteries within the mansion's walls, but the malevolent presence was gone, and the souls that had suffered for so long could finally rest in peace. The true healing of Blackwood Manor had begun, and Eleanor knew that the time had come to confront the past, uncover the remaining secrets, and bring the story of Isabella and the haunted mansion to its final chapter.